Hello, my name is Haley Malat, and I'm going to be doing the This Is Me assignment. The textbook says that self-concept is how individuals think and feel about themselves. Self-concept takes this one step further by assigning a general positive or negative orientation towards the self. So my self-concept has changed drastically over the years. I grew up a preacher's child, preacher's daughter, and also a teacher's kid, and so I just felt like the limelight was always on me. This caused a lot of pressure and caused me just to feel like I needed to fit into a certain mold, and this kind of backfired, and as a result I had this self-concept that was just extremely fractured. So my self-esteem growing up was always fairly stable. It was pretty contingent on the relationships that I had, which isn't necessarily the healthiest thing. And it wasn't until growing up and realizing that I had value in Christ that it truly transformed my self-concept and the way that I viewed myself. So the textbook says that self-concepts are also a product of the culture and community values with which people grow up. The reason that my self-concept was conflicted was because I was surrounding myself with two drastically different cultures and pretending to fit into both at the same time. So this was extremely draining for me, and it just caused me to live an inconsistent life, which was not good for me at the time. So how have I become who I am today? I have struggled my entire life with having a self-concept that is solidified, and so yeah, I was faced with two different cultures that were competing against themselves, and it caused me to not really know who I was. So a specific example to use would be that I would go to youth group and I would serve, I would, maybe sing in the worship band and participate and whatnot, and then I would get picked up by my boyfriend, and we would go to parties and stay out all night, and I would lie to my parents about where I was. Clearly, these two lives are not compatible, and I was trying to make it fit, and it just was not working. As far as responsibility goes, I would say that I am currently more responsible now than I have ever been in my entire life. Because I have needed to adapt and grow, given the fact that I have moved into the role of a mother and a wife, all in 2 years' time. So a lot has happened in my life, and it has caused me to need to just grow up pretty quickly. Up until now, I was not a very responsible person, got a lot of speeding tickets, wasn't super clean, but now I have needed to start planning meals and budgeting and taking care of insurance, and I mean there's a million things on my to-do list every day, and so it's just really forced me to have to grow up and become more responsible. I would say I'm a fairly good communicator. I am an extremely social person, but I'm also an introvert, so I'm extremely drained by social activities, at least for extended periods, so I need to go and recharge by myself. I also think that because of my self-perception, which is that I am a good communicator, it causes me to be a better communicator. So it's a cycle. You see how that works. As far as social activities, most of my activities revolve around my immediate family, my husband and my son Henrik, as well as my church family at the Collective Church. These are just who I choose to spend my time with, because it's what I value. My relationships with others, I'm not sure if this counts, but Jesus has been the sole transformer in my self-concept, and he has also used my husband Matt to reinforce that. So seeing myself through his eyes has made all the difference.